My name is Rob, and I'm 67 years old. This is the story of how I discovered my own brother was planning to steal everything I'd worked my entire life to build, and how I made sure he got exactly what he deserved: nothing. My younger brother, Martin, and I grew up poor. Our parents died when I was 22 and he was 18. I became his guardian, put him through college, and helped him get his first job. We were close, or so I thought. I never married, never had children. I built a successful accounting firm over 40 years, invested wisely, and accumulated a small fortune, about $3.2 million in assets, including my house, investment properties, and savings. Martin, on the other hand, made different choices. He went through 3 divorces, had 4 kids he barely supported, and was constantly in debt. He'd call me every few months asking for money, which I usually gave him. After all, he was my brother. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. The doctors gave me a good prognosis. With treatment, I had an 80% chance of beating it. But at 65, you start thinking about mortality. I called Martin and told him about my diagnosis. He was devastated. He started visiting me every week during my chemotherapy. He'd bring groceries, help around the house, drive me to appointments. I was touched. Finally, my little brother was stepping up. I told him about my will. Everything was split between him and our cousin's daughter, Emily, who I was very close to. Martin would get $1.6 million. Emily would get $1.6 million. Fair and simple. Martin seemed satisfied with this arrangement. "You're going to beat this, Rob," he'd say, "but thank you for taking care of us." 6 months into my treatment, I was responding well. The tumor was shrinking. My doctors were optimistic. I was going to survive. That's when everything changed. I needed to find some documents for my accountant one afternoon, so I went to my home office. Martin had been staying at my house to help take care of me, and he'd been using my office to work remotely. My filing cabinet was slightly open. I pulled it out fully to get what I needed and noticed that the bottom drawer where I kept my will and estate documents had been disturbed. Papers were out of order. A folder was misfiled. Something felt wrong. I checked my computer history. Martin had been logged onto my computer. I'd given him the password months ago. He'd accessed my bank accounts, my investment portfolios, everything. But why? I installed a hidden camera in my office, just a small one behind some books. I told Martin I was feeling better and would spend the next day at the clinic for routine tests. I'd be gone all day. I came home early. And I watched the footage that night. Martin had spent 3 hours in my office. He'd photographed all my financial documents. He'd written down account numbers, passwords, investment details. He'd even called someone. I could hear it on the recording. Yeah, it's going better than expected. The old fool gave me access to everything. Once he dies, I'll have the account numbers and passwords. Before anyone even knows he's dead, I can transfer everything out. My blood ran cold. "Emily will get nothing," he laughed. "By the time the will goes to probate, the accounts will be empty. I'll say he must have spent it all on medical bills. Who's going to prove otherwise?" He continued, "And if he doesn't die soon enough, well, I've been researching his medications. There are ways to speed things up. A little mix-up with his pills, maybe. He's so sick, no one would question it." I sat in my dark living room watching my brother, the brother I'd raised, the brother I'd loved, the brother I'd supported for decades, casually discussing how to steal my money and potentially murder me. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I acted normal. Martin made me breakfast. I smiled and thanked him. Inside, I was planning. First, I went to my lawyer without telling Martin. I showed him the recording. His face went pale. "Robert, this is serious. He's planning fraud, possibly worse. We should go to the police." "Not yet," I said. "First, I want to protect my assets. Then we'll deal with Martin." Over the next week, I did the following. Changed every single password on every account, set up new accounts Martin didn't know about, transferred all my money to those accounts, changed the locks on my house, installed cameras throughout my home, revise my will, Martin would get $1 and a letter explaining why, set up a trust for Emily with everything else, gave my lawyer copies of all evidence with instructions. Martin noticed nothing. He was too busy planning his heist. 2 weeks later, I told Martin I needed to go to the hospital for some tests. Routine, but they wanted me to stay overnight for observation. "I'll come with you," Martin said quickly. "No need, brother. You've done so much already. Rest. I'll be home tomorrow." That night, Martin went into my office. I watched from my hospital bed via the camera feed on my phone. He tried to log into my computer, password denied. He tried again, denied. He called the bank using the numbers he'd written down. The accounts had been closed. I watched him panic. He started going through files, drawers, everything. Nothing. He called someone. "Something's wrong. All the accounts are gone. Passwords changed. He knows." I smiled. The next morning, I came home with my doctor and my lawyer. Martin was sitting in my living room, looking nervous. "Martin, we need to talk." His face went white. "Rob, I can explain." "Explain what, Martin? How you plan to steal my money? How you researched ways to kill me?" I didn't." My lawyer stepped forward. "Mr. Martin, I have video and audio evidence of you discussing fraud and potential murder. My client is prepared to go to the police unless—" "Unless what?" Martin whispered. "Unless you leave immediately, sign a document admitting what you've done, and never contact Robert again. If you do, we'll pursue criminal charges." Martin looked at me with pure hatred. "You're really going to do this after everything? I'm your brother." "You stopped being my brother the moment you saw me as a bank account," I said calmly. "You have 10 minutes to pack your things and leave my house." "You owe me," Martin shouted. "I took care of you. I was here every day." "You were here every day planning how to steal from me. Now get out." Martin signed the document, a confession, really. Then he packed a bag and left. As he walked out the door, he turned back. "You're going to die alone, Robert. No family, no one who cares." Was it worth it? Yes, because I'll die with my dignity and my money going to someone who actually deserves it. You'll die knowing you betrayed the only person who ever truly loved you. So who's really alone? He slammed the door. That was 18 months ago. I'm in remission now. The cancer is gone. I'm healthy, happy, and Martin-free. My new will is ironclad. Emily gets $3 million and the house. Various charities get $200,000. Martin gets $1 and a sealed letter. The letter says, "Dear Martin, you get $1 because that's more than you deserve. You planned to steal my life's work and potentially end my life. You destroyed our brotherhood for money you never earned. This dollar is a reminder that greed and betrayal have consequences. I hope it was worth it." Through mutual acquaintances, I heard that Martin has been telling people I went crazy and cut him off for no reason. He's tried to contact Emily, probably hoping she'll give him money when I die. She blocked him immediately after I told her everything. He's also apparently deep in debt. He'd been planning to use his inheritance as collateral for loans. Now those loans are coming due, and he has no way to pay them. Karma is beautiful sometimes. As for me, I'm 67, cancer-free, and finally at peace. I travel, I volunteer, I spend time with people who actually care about me, like Emily and her kids, who call me Uncle Rob. Emily told me recently, "I can't believe he was your brother. How could someone do that to family?" I replied, "Martin stopped seeing me as family the moment he saw me as a bank account." Last week, Martin sent me an email. The subject line was, "I'm sorry." I deleted it without reading it. Some betrayals are too deep to forgive. Planning to steal from someone is bad enough. Planning to murder them? That's unforgivable. Martin will get his $1 when I die. I'm thinking of having it framed for him with the letter attached. Because the best revenge isn't taking everything from someone. It's letting them know exactly what they lost and making sure they understand it was entirely their own fault. Martin had a brother who loved him, supported him, and would have given him anything if he'd just asked honestly. Now he has nothing. And when I'm gone, he'll receive $1 and the knowledge that his greed destroyed the only real family he ever had. That's worth more than $3.2 million to me.